Okay, and now for episode 2 review of the Iron Fist. Alright, so this episode starts off with Simon. He's a funny character. What he's over Danny. He's got like the whole doctor coat on and everything. And then he's talking to Danny at first. He seems like he's just a normal doctor, but it turns out he kind of goes crazy on Danny, puts a fork to his throat. We realize he's actually also another member of this psychiatric ward. Another patient of the psychiatric ward. It's kind of hilarious. Then a little bit later, Danny's actually talking to the actual doctor who works at the psychiatric ward. They're talking about Danny's past, so we learn a little bit more about how what happened in the plane crash, and also how he is found by the two monks. After that, not a lot happens really in this episode, but also we get to see Colleen Wing. She's walking down the street, and then she's being tailed. I'm thinking that she must be tailed by Meacham's men again, but it turns out that she is being tailed by her own students. And it's kind of awesome. It's an awesome scene. It kind of just shows you how badass Colleen Wing is, which is pretty cool. You know, she easily subdues her 4 students and then tells them how corny they are and how easily detectable they are. After that, we get a little bit more of the Meachams. We get a little bit more of Harold Meacham. Harold Meacham is cool. He seems like he's gonna be a pretty decent villain. He actually even sneaks out and goes to Danny Rand, who is still in the psychiatric ward. They have a little conversation, and then he comes back home. After he comes back home, he sees this sign on this window that says, "Where did you go?" with a hand underneath it. And this is important because we already have been introduced to the hand in Daredevil, or at least the idea of the hand. Iron Fist is apparently supposed to be the one that takes down the hand, so that's going to be pretty interesting. I think that's going to be very important once we get to the Defenders season, which is going to be awesome. I can't wait for it. Besides that, Colleen Wing also talks to Danny. She meets Danny at the psychiatric ward. It makes it seem like she's gonna get him out eventually, but by the end of the episode, Meacham's son Ward sends, not sends because they were already patients. They're patients that are in the ward. He gets them to beat on Danny. Danny hasn't been able to use his powers this whole time because of the medications that they've had him on. But he still somehow summons the Iron Fist, which is it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool effect. I saw it. I wasn't overwhelmed by it at all, but it was pretty cool. You know, you can see a light forming inside of his hand. You know, it actually looked like his hand was like swollen, like he got a crazy infection or something, like typhoid or something. I don't know. He uses it and like easily takes out the assailants, and then he runs to the end of the hallway where there's this huge metal door, and he just punches the metal door, and the door flies off the hinges and stuff. So that would be like the money shot for this episode. That was the coolest one. The first episode was the taxi flip, and now this one is him actually using that Iron Fist. I forgot to actually. I gave a recap of the first episode, but I forgot to actually review it. I thought that one was really good. It was solid. Like I know there's been like a lot of controversy about it, but you know, it wasn't too bad. You know, I'm liking it. I'm liking the story. I love character development. That's my biggest thing. So that was really cool. Second episode was also pretty cool. A lot more character development. Not enough martial arts still yet. I think Daredevil ratcheted it up a little bit faster for me the first season, but it's a different thing, you know. I remember Finn Jones saying that his character was like pretty naive and stuff, and you kind of really see that, especially towards the end of this episode, when you see him talking to the doctor. The doctor is pretty much telling him, "Oh, you are Danny Rand, and this whole time I haven't thought it, but." He's actually finally convinced, and then Danny Rand tells him about the Iron Fist stuff, and it's like he thinks he's crazy again. And so it was a pretty decent episode. Can't wait for the next one. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.